The alarm blared through the Pathfinder ship as Captain Olivia Mason jumped from her bed. Red lights flashed in the hallway. Something was wrong. "Captain, we found them," shouted Derek from the control room. His voice cracked with excitement. Olivia rushed to the bridge, her heart beating fast. After 5 long years in space, they had finally found aliens. On the main screen, a strange ship floated in the darkness of space. It looked like a giant leaf with lights around its edges. The ship was 3 times bigger than the Pathfinder. "They're sending a message," said Communications Officer Peggy Liu. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. The computer is trying to translate it. Strange symbols appeared on the screen. The ship's computer worked for several minutes before words in English appeared. "Greetings, Earth travelers. We are the Florians. We come in peace." The crew cheered. Humans had searched for alien life for over 100 years. Now on this day, April 15, 2157, first contact was made. "Send back our greeting message," ordered Olivia. She smoothed her uniform and took a deep breath. This was the most important moment in human history, and she was part of it. The next 3 days were busy. The Florians and humans agreed to meet in person on a small station between their ships. Both sides were careful and a little afraid, but also curious. "Remember," Olivia told her team as they prepared to board the station, "we represent all of humanity. Be respectful and follow the contact protocols." Science Officer Alan Price checked his scanner one last time. "The air in the station is safe for us to breathe. It's a bit wet, like a rainforest, but we'll be fine." Cultural liaison Samantha Wright looked nervous as she carried a small box of gifts from Earth. "Do you think they'll like what we brought them?" "We'll find out soon," said Olivia. The airlock door opened with a hiss. The humans stepped into the station and got their first look at real aliens. The Florians stood nearly 7 feet tall with thin bodies and 4 arms. Their skin was light green and seemed to glow slightly. They had no hair, but small leaf-like structures grew from their heads. Their eyes were large and completely black, with no white parts. The lead Florian stepped forward. Its movements were graceful, like a plant swaying in the wind. "I am called Lily in your language," the alien said through a small device on its chest. The voice sounded female and musical. "We welcome the first humans we have ever met." Olivia stepped forward too. "I am Captain Olivia Mason of the Earth vessel Pathfinder. We bring greetings from all humans." Lily held out her 4-fingered hand in what looked like a greeting. Olivia reached out slowly and touched it. The Florian's skin felt smooth and cool, like a flower petal. "Today begins a new chapter for both our peoples," said Lily. Her black eyes reflected the station lights. "We have much to learn from each other," Olivia replied with a smile. The humans and Florians began talking, sharing basic information about their worlds. The meeting went well, with both sides eager to know more. What they didn't know was that a simple dinner would soon test this new friendship in ways no one could imagine. After a week of meetings, the humans and Florians became friendlier. They showed each other music, paintings, and new technology. Both groups loved learning, even though they did things differently. "The Florians have invited us to dinner on their ship tonight," Olivia told her crew during their morning meeting. "This is our chance to build real trust." Greg Miller raised his hand. "Should we bring food from Earth to show them what we eat?" "Great idea," said Olivia. "Pack a variety of our best foods. Nothing too strange for their first taste of Earth cuisine." Later that day, the 4 humans walked through the connecting tunnel to the Florian ship. Samantha carried a small Earth flag, while Greg held a sealed food container. "Their ship smells like a garden," whispered Alan as they entered. The walls were covered with living plants, and soft music played from hidden speakers. The music sounded like wind through leaves. Lily met them at the entrance. Today her green skin glowed brighter than before. "Welcome, Earth friends," she said with a gesture that looked like a bow. "We have prepared a special meal to honor your visit." She led them to a large room where 5 other Florians waited. In the center stood a round table covered with bowls of colorful liquids, plates of what looked like glowing moss, and tall glasses of bubbling blue drinks. "Please sit," said Lily. "We have studied human biology to make sure all these foods are safe for you." The humans sat down carefully on the strange chairs, which felt like firm cushions made of plant material. Olivia looked at the alien food with a mix of worry and curiosity. "Everything looks interesting. The blue drink is rich in minerals your bodies need," explained a Florian that Lily introduced as Moss, their food specialist. "The glowing items contain proteins similar to your plant foods." Samantha smiled. "Thank you for your thoughtfulness. We've brought some foods from Earth to share too." Greg placed his container on the table and opened it. Inside were neatly arranged sections of fruits, vegetables, crackers, cheese, and thinly sliced ham and turkey. "These are common foods humans enjoy," Greg explained proudly. Suddenly, the room's atmosphere changed. Lily's skin flashed with bright pulses. The other Florians made high-pitched sounds and backed away from the table. One Florian turned a sickly yellow color. "What's happening?" asked Olivia, standing up quickly. "Are you okay?" Lily's voice shook as she pointed at the meat. "Those dark pink and brown items. What are they?" "Just ham and turkey," said Greg, looking confused. "They're meats we eat. Very tasty." "Meat." Lily's translator struggled with her rapid speech. "You mean parts of animals? Dead creatures?" Alan nodded slowly, suddenly understanding the problem. "Yes, humans eat both plants and animal products. We're omnivores." The Florians huddled together across the room. Their skin colors shifted rapidly between green, yellow, and pale white. They spoke in their language too fast for the translators to keep up. Olivia felt her stomach tighten. This was going very wrong. "Perhaps we should put these away," she said quietly to Greg, pointing at the meat. But it was too late. The damage was done. The Florians now stared at the humans with what could only be described as horror in their large black eyes. "You eat dead animals?" Lily finally asked. Her voice through the translator sounded both scared and disgusted. "Not animals that can think like us," Alan explained quickly. "Just simple animals raised for food. Humans need to eat both plants and meat to stay healthy." The Florians moved to the far corner of the room. They whispered to each other and kept looking at the humans with wide, fearful eyes. Olivia made a calm-down gesture to her team. "We should put the meat away and talk about this difference in our cultures," she said, nodding at Greg to close the food container. After a few minutes, Lily walked back to the humans. Her skin had returned to its normal green, but she kept a safe distance. "I'm sorry we reacted that way," she said. "You need to understand something important about us. In our culture, all living things are special and should not be harmed. We get our energy from sunlight through our skin, like your earth plants do. We never develop the need to eat other living creatures." Samantha, who was good at making peace, saw a chance to fix things. "We respect how you feel. Actually, many humans choose not to eat meat for similar reasons. Could you tell us more about how your bodies work? We really want to learn." This seemed to help. Lily relaxed slightly and began explaining how Florians lived. "Our skin captures energy from our sun, just like your plants. We also drink special water with minerals and take in nutrients through our feet from the soil. We never had to evolve to eat other creatures." She showed them the small leaf-like parts on her head. "These help us collect more sunlight. When we're young, we spend most of our time outdoors. Older Florians need less light." The humans listened with interest. Olivia noticed that the other Florians were slowly coming closer again, their fear mixing with curiosity. "What about your people?" asked a smaller Florian named Petal. "Do all humans eat those things?" He pointed at the closed container, but couldn't bring himself to say the word meat. Alan took over, speaking gently. "Humans evolved on a planet where eating both plants and animals was necessary for survival. Our bodies are designed to process both types of food. But today, many humans choose not to eat meat for personal or ethical reasons. Do you kill these animals yourselves? Asked Moss, looking pale again. Most humans today don't, said Samantha. We have farms and special facilities. This seemed to make things worse. The Florian's skin darkened with what looked like horror. You have places just for killing, Lily whispered. Olivia realized they were making things worse, not better. She needed to change direction. I think we should take a step back, she said carefully. Our species developed very differently. Maybe we should first explain how life on Earth works, and you can tell us about life on your world. That might help us understand each other. Lily seemed to consider this. Finally, she nodded. Yes, but I must warn you, Captain Olivia. This revelation about humans will cause great concern among our people when they learn of it. I don't know if our cultures can accept such a fundamental difference. Olivia felt a cold knot in her stomach. Their first meeting with aliens might end in failure over something humans had never questioned: what they ate for dinner. 3 days after the dinner disaster, things got much worse. The Florians had told their people about humans eating meat. Now their news showed scary pictures of Earth's farms and meat markets. They had found these images on the human internet. Olivia watched these broadcasts from the Pathfinder with a heavy heart. The Florian reporters talked about Earth like it was a planet of monsters. Captain, we have an urgent message from Earth, called Peggy from her communication station. Olivia hurried to the screen. Admiral Kelly Nelson's serious face appeared. Captain Mason, we have a big problem, said the Admiral. The Florian leaders want your team to leave their space within 48 hours. They say they need to rethink relations with humans. Olivia frowned. Admiral, we're making progress explaining our differences. Samantha has been working with their cultural experts every day. I understand, but this is bigger than we thought, replied the Admiral. The Florians have a religion that says harming any living thing for food is wrong. Some of their people are calling humans deathbringers and planet killers. They're afraid we might teach their people to eat meat. Olivia rubbed her tired eyes. Request permission to try one more meeting with their leaders before we leave. Granted, but be careful. This first contact is falling apart fast. Later that day, Olivia met with Lily in a small meeting room on the station. The Florian looked troubled, her skin a dull green. I've been fighting for continued talks, Lily said, but many of my people are scared of what humans represent. Some even think you might eat us. That's crazy, Olivia said firmly. Humans would never harm thinking beings like yourselves. But you have no problem eating other creatures, Lily said. Our thinkers say that a species that raises animals just to kill them might do the same to any life form if needed. Olivia tried to explain how humans had rules and ethics about what they would and wouldn't eat, but Lily didn't seem convinced. You must understand, Lily said, her leaves drooping. When we see those pictures of your farms and meat factories, we see murder rooms. Many Florians can't sleep after seeing those images. They have nightmares about humans. Olivia felt sick. How could she explain thousands of years of human history and biology in just 48 hours? Can I speak directly to your council? She asked. Let me show them that humans are more than what we eat. Lily's skin brightened slightly. I will ask, but don't expect much. The council leader called Earth a planet of predators in today's speech. As Olivia walked back to her ship, she passed a window looking out into space. The stars seemed cold and distant now. First contact had been humanity's dream for centuries. But instead of a new friendship, they might have found their first cosmic enemy, all because of a ham sandwich. Captain, Alan said, meeting her at the airlock. I have an idea. What if we try to explain this scientifically instead of culturally? Evolution rather than ethics. Olivia looked at him with renewed hope. Get our science team together. We have 47 hours to save this mission. With extra time granted by the council, Samantha organized special meetings to help both species understand each other better. The first meeting focused on food and what it meant to humans. 20 Florians sat in a half-circle facing the humans. The room was tense at first, with many Florians keeping their distance. Food is more than just fuel for humans, Samantha explained gently. When families eat together, they share stories and build bonds. Our different foods carry our history and traditions. She showed pictures of human families at dinner tables, holiday meals, and cooking together. No meat was shown in these images. Lily, who had become their strongest supporter among the Florians, added, "We Florians also have community gatherings where we share mineral baths." The purpose seems similar. As the days passed, the humans showed the Florians how to cook plant-based meals that humans enjoyed. The Florians were surprised to learn that many humans already chose not to eat meat. Not all humans think the same way. Greg explained while making a vegetable stir-fry that filled the room with pleasant smells. Some humans choose plant-only diets for health, for ethical reasons, or for the environment. In return, the Florians showed humans their mineral bath rituals, where they gathered in shallow pools of special water to absorb nutrients through their skin while sharing news and stories. During one session, Gray asked a question that changed everything. Do Florians have any animals that hunt other creatures on your world? The question made the Florians look at each other. After a moment, a Florian named Sky spoke up. "We have flying creatures called shadowers that steal light from other plants," Sky explained. "They don't eat the plants, but they fly above them, blocking the sunlight and weakening them, so they can absorb the energy instead." "That's interesting," Alan said, excited by this new information. "They're like predators, but for light instead of flesh." "We've never thought of them that way," said Lily, her skin showing patterns of surprise. "But yes, they take energy that other life forms need, causing some to die." "And how do Florians feel about these shadowers?" asked Olivia. "We see them as part of nature's balance," explained Sky. "They control plant populations that might otherwise grow too large." Alan nodded eagerly. "That's exactly what predators do in Earth's ecosystems. They keep populations healthy by preventing overgrowth." The Florians began talking excitedly among themselves. This comparison helped them see Earth's food chain in a new light. "So humans eating meat is like our shadowers?" asked a young Florian. "Not exactly the same," said Samantha carefully. "But it shows that both our worlds have ways to balance life. We just evolved different methods." That evening, Lily met with Olivia privately. The Florian's skin glowed with a soft blue light the humans had learned meant deep thinking. "Our council has been watching these sessions," Lily said. "They're starting to understand that humans aren't evil, just different. I believe we can find a way forward." Olivia smiled with relief. "Our differences might be big, but our wish to understand each other is bigger." 3 days after the dinner disaster, things got much worse. The Florians had told their people about humans eating meat. Now their news showed scary pictures of Earth's farms and meat markets. They had found these images on the human internet. Olivia watched these broadcasts from the Pathfinder with a heavy heart. The Florian reporters talked about Earth like it was a planet of monsters. "Captain, we have an urgent message from Earth," called Peggy from her communication station. Olivia hurried to the screen. Admiral Kelly Nelson's serious face appeared. "Captain Mason, we have a big problem," said the Admiral. "The Florian leaders want your team to leave their space within 48 hours. They say they need to rethink relations with humans." Olivia frowned. "Admiral, we're making progress explaining our differences. Samantha has been working with their cultural experts every day." "I understand, but this is bigger than we thought," replied the Admiral. "The Florians have a religion that says harming any living thing for food is wrong. Some of their people are calling humans deathbringers and planet killers. They're afraid we might teach their people to eat meat." Olivia rubbed her tired eyes. "Request permission to try one more meeting with their leaders before we leave." "Granted, but be careful. This first contact is falling apart fast." Later that day, Olivia met with Lily in a small meeting room on the station. The Florian looked troubled, her skin a dull green. "I've been fighting for continued talks," Lily said, "but many of my people are scared of what humans represent. Some even think you might eat us." "That's crazy," Olivia said firmly. "Humans would never harm thinking beings like yourselves." "But you have no problem eating other creatures," Lily said. "Our thinkers say that a species that raises animals just to kill them might do the same to any life form if needed." Olivia tried to explain how humans had rules and ethics about what they would and wouldn't eat, but Lily didn't seem convinced. "You must understand," Lily said, her leaves drooping. "When we see those pictures of your farms and meat factories, we see murder rooms. Many Florians can't sleep after seeing those images. They have nightmares about humans." Olivia felt sick. How could she explain thousands of years of human history and biology in just 48 hours? "Can I speak directly to your council?" she asked. "Let me show them that humans are more than what we eat." Lily's skin brightened slightly. "I will ask, but don't expect much." The council leader called Earth a planet of predators in today's speech. As Olivia walked back to her ship, she passed a window looking out into space. The stars seemed cold and distant now. First contact had been humanity's dream for centuries. But instead of a new friendship, they might have found their first cosmic enemy, all because of a ham sandwich. "Captain," Alan said, meeting her at the airlock, "I have an idea. What if we try to explain this scientifically instead of culturally? Evolution rather than ethics." Olivia looked at him with renewed hope. "Get our science team together. We have 47 hours to save this mission." 2 weeks after the meat incident, the Pathfinder crew prepared for their journey home. They no longer faced being forced to leave. While many Florians still found human eating habits strange and scary, they had stopped seeing humans as monsters. On the last day, Olivia and Lily met on the station to sign an important document. They called it the First Meeting Agreement, and it set rules for how humans and Florians would talk to each other in the future. The main rules were simple. Humans agreed not to bring any meat products to meetings with Florians. Florians agreed to accept that humans had different bodies and needs, without judging them as bad or evil. "This is a historic day," Lily said as they both signed the paper. Her skin glowed with bright green patterns of happiness. "A month ago, we didn't know each other existed. Today, we're building a bridge between our worlds." Olivia smiled. "We may never fully understand each other's ways, but we can respect our differences." The small room was filled with humans and Florians watching the signing. Some Florians still kept their distance from the humans, but others had moved closer, showing curiosity instead of fear. "Our two species grew up under different suns," Olivia continued. "We evolved in different ways, but we both looked up at the stars and wondered what was out there. That's what brought us together." As the Pathfinder crew made final preparations to leave, a message arrived from the Florian High Council. Olivia read it on her tablet and broke into a wide smile. "Good news?" asked Alan, who was checking their departure plan. "The best," said Olivia. "The Florian Council has approved a visitor program. They want to send 5 Florian scientists and diplomats to Earth, despite their concerns." The crew couldn't believe it. After coming so close to failure, this was a huge victory. Lily came to the ship's airlock to say goodbye. "Our visitors are very brave," she told Olivia. "They know they'll see things on Earth that will upset them, but they believe understanding is worth the discomfort. We'll take good care of them," Olivia promised, "and we'll make sure they have plenty of plant foods." Lily's skin showed a pattern that humans had learned meant laughter. "They're bringing their own special lights and mineral supplements, but they appreciate your concern." As the airlock door began to close, Lily did something unexpected. She reached out and touched Olivia's hand. The first time any Florian had willingly touched a human since they learned about meat eating. "Safe journey, friends," Lily said. "May both our worlds be better for having found each other." The Pathfinder pulled away from the station, its engines glowing blue against the blackness of space. On board, the crew sent messages home about everything they had learned. In her private cabin, Olivia recorded her final log entry about the mission. First contact was harder than anyone expected. We came close to disaster over something as simple as what we eat for dinner. But we found a way to understand each other, not by ignoring our differences, but by accepting them. That's what exploration is really about, not just finding new worlds, but new ways to see our own.